So these are our foundational pillars. As you can see, we stand upon 7 pillars. The first one is climate, culture, and safety. Second one is scholar-centered decision-making. Third one is cultural relevant exposure. Fourth one is academic rigor. The fifth one is building relationships. The sixth one is sustainable systems. And last but not least, the seventh one, which is at the bottom, is consistent and intentional reflection. These are what we stand upon at our schools. There are 3 in particular that we're really going to harp on and talk about today. So the first one is building relationships. The second one is culture, climate, and safety. And the third one is consistent and intentional reflection. When we build relationships, we feel as though at Global Academies, we can't do anything without building relationships. And that includes all of our stakeholders. That includes our parents. That includes the administrators. That includes the teachers. That includes any working staff. That includes community members, which includes clergymen, which includes politicians. Any and everything that we do, we want to build a relationship. We feel as though, let's just say I'm a teacher at a Global Academy school. We cannot effectively teach a scholar the way we want to teach a scholar if we don't build a relationship with that particular person. So as you can see, it begins with the parents. It begins with community meetings before the school even opens up. We literally have meetings before the school opens up, and we allow our community to come ask us any question that they want. We've actually done community walks around our school where we actually marched around and just let everybody know, hey, school's about to start. You know, you have any questions, come up to the school. Matter of fact, you can ask us these questions right now. So it's part of everything that we do with building relationships. The next one is culture, climate, and safety. I say this all the time. As a dad myself, when I send my child to school, I have a clear expectation that my child is going to come home the same way I sent them to school. So this is very purposeful in what we do at Global Academies. So we try to establish clear and effective positive behavior and intervention systems. Our dorms are taught right away. For instance, I said that one of our academies was the Collegiate Academy. Well, the first 3 days of school, our scholars actually go through what we call Collegiate 101. Even though that scholar might have been already in the academy the year before, there are certain things that they have to be have almost like a refresher course. So the same thing, if you're going to college, you have to take University 101 and they say, hey, this is what this college does. These are our systems. Hey, here's where you go eat lunch. Here's where you go get your coffee. Here's where you go buy your books. We do to actually do the same thing with our scholars. In all 3 academies each and every year, and is reiterated throughout the school year. So you're always going to have meetings. You're always going to revisit if something's not working. Our scholars are actually part of this decision-making process, and they will tell us, hey, Mr. Kennedy, I don't think this is working. Maybe we should try this. And we literally have community meetings where these things are discussed. But any and every decision that we make is always around the safety of our scholars and the safety of our staff members. So, and as you can see, if you walk through our schools, we constantly have public reflections of students' academic, behavioral, and character achievements. I feel as though our schools are literally like living museums. We find any and every way to always celebrate our scholars. And you can see that throughout our walls. You can see that throughout our classrooms. It is stressed by administration that this will take place. I feel as though that human beings in general, they love to be celebrated. So if you walk in, whether you're in 8th grade or whether you're in 1st grade, if you have something that represents you, if you have something that's celebrating you, it's actually going to motivate you and actually make you feel better, and make you feel appreciated. So that's something that we're real purposeful about. The last pillar that we have to have before we begin a behavioral system is consistent and intentional reflection. Anything you do, after you apply it, after you plan, after you implement it, you always have to evaluate. You always have to come back to. You always have to say, hey, did this work? Why is it working? Hey, if this doesn't work, what can we do to make it better? What are our next steps? So we have different things that allow us to consistently and intentionally reflect. And those are PBIS team and data meetings, our MTSS meetings. We have school-wide meetings with all the staff members. And when I say all the staff members, the nurses, if you want to call somebody a secretary or the maintenance, they are all in this school-wide staff meetings, because any and everything that we do inside of our school walls affects everyone. We also have community meetings. We actually allow the neighborhoods to come into our buildings and have town halls. We have classroom meetings with the teacher in their classrooms. And if something happens in the class, we have something called restorative circles. So let's just say two individuals had an argument the day before. We'll actually have a meeting and we'll talk about, hey, what could we have done differently? What are some things that happen? What will we do next time? And different things like that. So a lot of our programs are also created as a group, as previously stated, and that includes our scholars. So now that we know all that and we stand up on the pillars and we know who we are as a school, we ask ourselves, okay,